are back with another episode of Second Chance with Johneri'O Scott. Of course, it's me, your host, Johneri'O Scott. But we have my guest of the hour, artist, songwriter, big boss energy, Remadee. How you doing?
Hello, thank
Remadee
you.
love, y'all.
Hey everybody, how
Listen, you bringing it.
Hello. I'm sorry. Listen, you're being modest. You're being very modest.
Listen, yo, modesty is not, you are definitely modesty. Like, where you are now, like when I first started following you and connecting with you, I was like, yo, her story is dope. Like, it's deep. And then it's like, you know how everybody said the cliche of you're not what you've gone through?
Yeah.
Like, when you see you, it's just like, girl.
Yeah, I was out there roughing it. Yeah.
So, just before I get ahead of myself, I like to ask everyone when they come on who they are. So, who is Remadee?
That's a very interesting question because I'm very transparent, right? So right now, that's really what I'm trying to figure out because I'm in transition. You know, I was in a relationship for 3 years, and when you're in a relationship, well, when you get out of a relationship, right, there's the person you were before the relationship, there's a person you become during the relationship, you know, whether it be good or bad or a combination of both, and then there's the person that you are afterwards. And so it's like, I'm in that transition stage of, I know who I was before, I changed in this relationship, I want to be like how I was before, but I'm not going to be that person anymore.
Mindset didn't change.
You know what I mean? So it's like, really, I'm in that space now, just like, kind of just giving myself grace to just transition into this new person that I'm going to be, because I don't really know what that looks like for me just yet, you know? That
is normal, and like, as long as you continue to give yourself grace, because grace, listen, that was our word for last year, grace, and no lie, I've learned a lot about myself, giving myself grace last year, because we're always so hard on ourselves, especially now with you trying to figure yourself back out. You know, you have to get back to yourself. So I definitely understand that grace. And I mean, you're doing it. You're doing it. And just piggybacking off that, is that why you took took time off? Well, I think from November to February. Like, you're like, bam.
Well, so I'm a Virgo perfectionist. I don't know if you guys know about any other Virgos. Beyonce. Kobe Bryant. But just very, like, I'm such a perfectionist, and so I had a period of time where I felt like I'm not where I need to be right now to be presenting myself to the world. I need to kind of just take a couple steps back and just really focus and work on myself and just like perfect what I want to present to the world. But at the same time, I'm a firm believer in, like, we don't know how long we're here.
Right.
And I was gonna try and take a year, because I'm like, let me just take a year to just get off social media and just like zone in and focus. But I realized, like, well, okay, I had somebody very, very close to me, like the closest person in my life to me. 3 years ago, they passed away, and they just, like, they were 30 years old, completely healthy, nothing wrong with them, just took a nap and passed away.
Oh my goodness.
And so for me, it's always like a reminder of, like, I can't just wait around for too long. You know what I'm saying? It's like, every video that we're putting out could be that one video that changes everything. So I had to get out of my head and get back into, get back out there, put myself back out into the world. Yeah, so I was actually trying to get jobs in the music industry because I almost saw it as like being a student. It's like, because I was almost considering going to school to like even study music. But I was like, why don't I get a job in the music industry? Because that's like, hands-on experience. So I ended up having the opportunity to meet with Deb Antony, and I interviewed to be her executive assistant, and like we were vibing, everything was great. But she's just like, and I was transparent with her. I'm like, I'm an artist, and she wasn't feeling it at first. We were still vibing and connecting, and then something in her soul was just like, nah, you're an artist. And honestly, I'm so grateful that she said that, because I would have bowed down to Deb and just like put myself in the shadows for the next year to just be there for her, and it would have stopped me. It would have blocked me from doing this right now. We've probably been doing this interview till 2024. If I would have just,
And that's crazy, because like you said, like, you wanted to get back out there, but then, like, being an entrepreneur, being, a creative is like, but I need to. And then for you also being a perfectionist, it's like, but maybe this will be the route. But then it's like, if you would have, like you said, you would have been pushing yourself back. And you would have been giving your all to something. I think, well, you made the best decision.
Yeah.
You made the best decision because now, like, your content before was amazing, but now it's like, okay, that was a refresh. Like, like, we need those breaks. We need those breaks. So what did that break teach you?
Ooh, you got some good questions. He got with the good questions. What did that break teach me? It taught me that I'm enough right now. That I don't have to work any harder or do, like, I'm never going to be perfect. And I have to just let that go and just realize, like, right now, I'm good enough. Because I'm very, like, you know, I want to be like a Beyonce as far as, like, you know, when it comes to the level of performance and experience that I want to provide for people. And so it's like, since I'm not Beyonce right now, I feel there's times where I'm like, oh, I'm not ready. But it's like, Beyonce had to start somewhere. Like, everybody has to start somewhere. So it's like, just, you know, the word grace. It's like giving yourself grace and knowing you are enough right now.
Enough.
Yeah.
And speaking about enough, I mean, like, the dance moves. I mean, you are a performer. Like, you were performing with last, like, you was performing a lot lately.
Yeah.
So it's like you have the energy, you have what it takes. It's just timing, and I think that's our issue. Like, timing. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. So, what do you know about second chances?
So, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not as familiar about second chances as I am about you, and I want to say this to you. I am so, like, just blown away by your ability to just be so fearless and just stand in your truth.
Thank you.
Because, like, having the courage to share your story and to just be transparent, especially about, you know, sexual education and stuff like that. A lot of people have a lot of shame in regards to that. So I, like, hands down to you for just being, that takes a lot of courage to just, like, walk in that.
Yeah, but thank you, Remadee. It does.
Yeah,
it does. But my thing is, if I could change one person's life, regardless through doing interviews or, you know, creating content, like, I feel like my job is done.
Yeah.
And like you said, like, it's in me. So by it being in us, like, we gotta just do it.
Yeah.
We really gotta just do it. And speaking about just doing it, you did something. I don't know. She's talking about my strength, y'all. Her strength. Like, you documented when you was at your lowest.
This night was the coldest night of my entire life. Like, of my entire life, hands down. Like, nothing ever compares. But I woke up this morning, I meditated, I'm feeling good. I'm gonna get out this van and get some things done today. The van, I am getting ready to lay down for bed, and I just want you to really, like, reevaluate what you think is hard. Like, really reevaluate it. Really evaluate the things that you're stressing about.
If y'all listen, go back, look at her page, go, you know, if you really been following her, you will see that she really was like, yo, this is my pursuit to where I want to get to. And yes, y'all see these things. I mean, having a business, selling the business, like, you've gone through.
Yeah.
But why was it important for you to document that time when you was at your lowest? I mean, homeless in your car, it's cold, like, girl.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, it's not like those are just like a couple of clips that I just kept and shared. Anybody who's been following me for a long period of time, they saw everything. Like, I was just showing my life. And my thing was, as much as I didn't have and as terrible as a spot I was in, my mind was so strong. Like, my mind was so strong, and it's crazy how, like, I'm on, you know, social media and talking to people and inspiring them, and it inspired them because they had so much more than me, and they were struggling and they were going through so much. And it's like, this girl living in a van, and look how positive and happy she's. Like, okay, maybe I can, like, let go and be free. So it's like, just like letting go of, like, any shame in regards to, like, my current situation. And I think that people seeing my freedom, like, it inspired them to want to be free as well too. So yeah, and that's why I said, as far as, like, you know, transitioning and, like, you know, getting back to, like, how it was, just really letting go of, you know, being so, like, okay, this has to be in line with my brand, and this has to be, like, just kind of, like, just be yourself. Raw. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So going back to what you were saying to me, that I say the same thing to you. I was like, yo, this takes guts. Like, yeah, y'all know the good, but let me let y'all know how I got here. Yeah. So what is music to you? What is music to Remadee?
Oh,
Remadee love.
I was gonna say music is the remedy.
Ooh, right.
But I really believe in music on like a very powerful level as far as like music is like it's almost like it is brainwashing in a sense, right? It affects our subconscious mind. Like that's how we can hold songs in our mind. Like there's a song that you haven't heard in 10 years, and if it comes on, you can sing every single word, right? So it's like these words are sitting in the back of our minds, and I want to be conscious of the fact that anything that I'm putting into music, if someone had to repeat that over and over and over again, that it would be something that's good for them, you know? I also used to be a teacher, so for me it's like, I'm very mindful of the fact that like, there are young men out in the world, it was all boys school, there are young men out in the world who could possibly see me or look at me at any point in their lives, you know, as they grow, and I want to be an example of, you know, what it means to carry yourself as like a respectable woman, and also to just to make good music that's good for you, you know? So for me, it's really about making sure that like I'm providing a message that's good for somebody's psyche, really.
I like that. And just speaking on, you know, speaking to people, like this, your last song, your latest song that we all love, Big Balls. Like when you listen to the lyrics, it's like, yo, you turn this song on, you feel the energy. It's like, yo, you can't tell me nothing. Like I got this. And if you want it, you better go get it.
I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen. My walk, my move, my sauce, my style, my core, the crew, just take them out.
So how was it coming up with Big Boss?
Well, it was fun to finally be in the space to be able to talk like a big boss from all the struggles that I've gone through. But I really was just being intentional because, you know, when a lot of people see rappers or people who are successful, people with money, like they automatically think, okay, I want to buy a chain, I want to buy the fancy car, I want to buy all of these material things, and I really wanted to make sure in that song I was kind of giving a different perspective of what it means to be a boss, and like, you know, investing in real estate, generational wealth, and, you know, like I have a line where I say, you know, I like Ross and I like Macy's, but, you know, I like Nordstrom too. So it's like, you know, just I want people to know to make smart decisions with their money, because yes, I made 6 figures, but making 6 figures it's not you're not rich. That was a reality that actually you're actually not rich. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're making $10,000 or $25,000 a month, you actually really shouldn't be, like, my personal opinion, you shouldn't really be buying like Louis purses and stuff yet, because they say you can't afford something until you can buy it three times. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I made $10,000 this month, but if I buy that $5,000 Louis purse, yeah, I can technically afford it, right? I have the money in my account to afford it, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense right now. So I mean, once I'm making 6 figures a month, we can talk a little bit different. But just I want people to make smart decisions with their money. That's what my goal is with that song.
So when you're in the studio, what is that vibe? What is like some of those things you must have with you in the studio?
Yeah. Well, one, I have to have the whole entire song memorized in my head before I can go in the studio. I really don't like to.
Really?
I don't like to read. I don't like to.
You just want to.
I don't really like to catch a vibe. It's the Virgo in me. It's like I need to come prepared. I don't need to know exactly what I'm doing.
No.
I don't really like too many people because it depends on the vibe. Sometimes I don't mind if people are there, but I do prefer like a more like just intimate, being the engineer. T and interesting thing that my vocal coach taught me is Sour Patches. So Sour Patches is good for like lubricating your throat. So it also might be good for other things that you lubricate your throat for.
Hint, hint. Hint, hint.
Yeah, so Sour Patches and tea.
So when you look back at, you know, just going back to the clip, when you look back at that clip and seeing how you know you made it out, what do you tell that Remadee?
You make me think. I'm gonna be honest. It's almost a little bit hard for me to kind of even watch it now, because like that whole story of like, you know, going from homeless to selling my business, it's kind of hard for me to even watch now, because it's like that is an old part of my story at this point. I know it's like, you know, it was a huge part of my life, but, you know, prior to, you know, being homeless and selling my business, I used to work for the NBA. So that was like a whole, like, I used to work for the NBA, I quit the NBA, walked away from like an $80K salary, and like, that was like, that, like, you know, back in the day when like media takeout was a thing, like that ended up on there. So, and that was, I remember I held on to that story for so long, like, I'm the woman who quit the NBA, and, you know, so now with this new, I guess, story of, you know, I was homeless to sell my business, it's been almost a year since I sold my business now, so it's kind of like, I'm not as connected
Right.
to that story anymore because it's like I'm entering like a new phase. But
Okay.
I would want that Remedy to talk to me, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, because that Remedy had nothing and was like so fearless and
Wow.
like present.
Yeah.
And this Remedy is like, you know, I have more physical things. I have a lot more of the things that I want.
Yeah.
But I see myself getting more stressed and more frustrated than I did when I was, you know, at a lower space in my life. So it's like, I like to look at that person and remind myself like, okay,
Right.
like, let go because you had nothing. You have a lot more now. There's no
You have
reason
a
for you
lot
to be
more.
like freaking out and stressing at this point, you know?
So now that you're back pushing into music,
Mhm.
what can we expect?
Right now, my goal is perform.
And you been doing it, girl.
Perform. So it's like I'm on week 7 in a row performing, and I've been doing it by myself, just me right now.
Wow.
And I feel like it was important because I've always performed with dancers, and
Mhm.
it almost was kind of like my safety blanket.
Uh-huh.
And so I've done these past 7 weeks by myself, and now I feel that confidence and sureness that I know I can go out there and perform for a whole crowd by myself. But now it's like, okay, we gotta Beyonce it up.
Right,
So I
yeah.
got my dancers, and now the next phase is like bringing the dancers out and really just social media has been cool,
Mhm.
promoting it on there, but it's like I want to get into the world, and I
Right.
want people to feel my energy because it's so much different to see somebody on social media and to see them live. It's a completely different experience,
Yes.
you know. So that's my goal. I want to be in the
Right.
world. Yeah.
Where do you write from? Do you write from, you know, where you were feeling at that moment, or do you like have to listen to the beat first?
Definitely the beat. Like I'm inspired by beats,
Okay.
and I really am very connected to like R&B beats. So it's like even though I'm rapping, I still would put myself on like a R. I would if I were to put like,
Yeah,
hey,
I would
where you put
too.
you? I would put me on an R&B
Yeah.
playlist, you know. So it's like it's interesting in that respect. But yeah, I like to feel the beat.
Mm-hmm.
Normally too, it's like I usually write when I'm down though. Like I
Really?
don't really happy write.
Girl, that's me. Like I was telling my friends, like I want to get back into poetry,
Mhm.
but when I look at my poetry, like it was like
It's so sad.
and I'm like, but it was good.
I know.
So it's like,
I know.
Like I literally sat down the other day and was like, I'm gonna write a poem,
Mhm.
and I was trying to take myself, you know, make myself sad.
Yeah,
Just like,
yeah.
Child, I'm gonna try again later.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like, how do you even work through that?
Yeah.
The mental block.
How do I?
Girl, I can't. I was just be like, listen.
How do I? I'm not. The thing is, I'm not like really hard on myself about always writing. Like
Okay.
I really want. Like I like it to be like authentic and like when I
Mhm.
really feel inspired, you know. And you know, unfortunately, like pain is a big motivator, you know.
Ooh.
So normally when I'm down is when I'm writing like because it's almost like a purging, you know.
Right.
So if I'm not in that space, like I like kind of where I am
Yeah.
right now, is like just really focusing on just like performing and pushing. Because also too, a lot of artists like we make a song, we love the song, and they're like, okay, that song is good, but this next song I have is better, and then they go to the next one.
Right.
People aren't marketing their material for long enough. You know, they let it go. Like Lizzo, I think she was like pushing one. I don't know what song it was. She was pushing it for like 2 years before it popped. Fetty Wap had another song too. So it's like I'm okay right now with just sitting in Big Boss and like giving it
Yes.
all my energy and pushing it as much as possible, even though I'm not necessarily in that creative space of writing. But when it happens, like I fully engulf myself in it. But it's random. Like I don't try to be like I have to write
Right.
every single day because then it's not. You lose the feeling.
It's like abusive.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You don't. It's not. It's work and not like art as much.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
And because you have Big Boss out, and you have like, is it 3 other songs?
I have
2 other songs?
I don't know. I think I have maybe like 4 or 5. I think
Yeah,
I only have 4 or 5 that are out right now.
Yeah.
I have Big Boss. I have Shouldn't Look Back,
Yes.
and then I have like my main ones right now, like Shouldn't Look Back, I Am a Goddess, and like Big Boss.
Uh-huh.
So those are like all kind of like that R&B
Yeah.
smooth. There's a song that I just released, but it was my first song I ever released. I used to have an older artist name. I used to go by Kyle.
Okay.
So that song is old, but I just like re-uploaded it
Yeah.
under my
And then your new-
under Remadee. Yeah.
So why did you change the name?
Well,
the artist name.
Yeah, because I changed. I was in a transformation, and so if you look at the way Remedy spelled it, it looks like the word remade with like an
Uh-huh.
extra D at the end, and so that's kind of like how I was feeling. Like I felt like I was like just remaking
Remade.
myself, and so
Ooh, I like
Remedy.
that.
And then honestly, the love part, Facebook said you had to have 2 names. And so I was like, all right, love.
Love.
Then people started start calling me that in real life, I'm like, okay, cool, Remadee Love. So
Like, I love that name.
I might drop Love at some time though, you know.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
Remadee is good too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
listen, y'all see my daughter? Her name is Remadee. You know I got it from her. So you are also like very strong when it comes to women empowerment.
Yeah.
All your songs
Yeah.
are definitely pushing and letting women know
Yeah.
that, yo, you are enough. You
Yeah.
are strong. What advice do you want women to get from your music?
Yeah, I want women to value themselves because I really feel like right now, society like is kind of like the behavior of a lot of women is like it's a justification of, or I don't want to say just it's a cover up of being hurt, right? So the I don't know if I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Like oh fuck niggas, there ain't shit, or like just having all these sneaky links, and like when I feel like when people like want to just connect with so many different energies, it's almost sometimes like blocking yourself from your own energy. And I feel like some women have kind of given up on the idea that love, like a loyal, faithful, loving man exists. So it's like they're kind of just just accepting like I don't give a fuck, I'm just gonna be out here and do whatever.
Right.
So it's like, but it's like that actually comes from a space of you being hurt and not. It's easier for you to do that. It's harder to actually like let your walls down and be vulnerable and open up.
Girl,
so
that's a word.
I want women to know that love exists. They can have that, and also too like let's check our self-esteem. A lot of people like that's why I say when I'm in transition, I'm checking my self-esteem, and a lot of people don't want to accept the fact like it's okay if you have low self-esteem right now. Like the people that you're attracting into life, or even when you're in a bad relationship and you're saying, oh well, he's doing this to me and they're staying with him, they're talking about all this type of things. That's a reflection of your self-esteem, because that's a reflection of what you think you're worth. That's a reflection of what you think you deserve. So it's like, it's okay to be transparent with yourself and say, like,
it's okay.
I don't really like myself that much. Like, if I liked myself, I would be receiving better in my life, you know? So, and that's for me with cutting off that relationship. It's like, I was not allowing, it was really an act of violence against myself.
So who are some of your musical influences?
This is going to be so interesting. Okay, because I feel like people never expect this to come out of my mouth.
Okay.
My number one musical influence, like number one, is Britney Spears.
Really?
Yes, I know. It sounds
you gotta
crazy.
You gotta.
I know.
Explain.
Okay, so like, all right, when I was growing up, like my mom was. It's kind of interesting that I was listening to Britney Spears, but my mom was super Christian when I was growing up, so there were a lot of things withheld from my household. Like, I couldn't celebrate Halloween. I didn't watch any, like, Harry Potter. Nothing, I'm in the library on Halloween Day because of whatever,
Right.
So I was completely disconnected from, a lot of this stuff, I guess secular,
right,
whatever you call it. And so I had, like, Britney Spears, Will Smith because he didn't curse, and, like, Backstreet Boys. And there's just Britney Spears. I don't know. It's like I don't know.
She's a good performer too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like just how like kids like they would gravitate towards Justin Bieber and obsessed. I was that obsessed like Britney Spears fan. Like I had a collection underneath my bed of like cutouts of her magazine. I had like Barbie dolls and like that's kind of what also messed me up because I was trying to sing like Britney and. Like I was that very nasally singing. So I'm like, this is not even like really how, but I was just so inspired by her as an entertainer. Like I wanted to. She made me want that. She's what made me get a little karaoke machine and want to sing on a microphone. Right. So I will say, in the same respect, though, it wasn't a good influence for me as a little black girl because it actually caused me to not love myself because I emulated her beauty, and I could never be a white woman. So it created a feeling of like not enoughness or like what I mean. So as much as I loved her and admired her in my adulthood, I'm aware of the fact that like maybe it would have been better for me to have an influence that looked like me so that I would have been more comfortable with myself.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. I love Britney. Obviously Beyonce, just Beyonce, the performance, just like, I love the experience that she creates for people. And like, she doesn't play with her craft. She's never going to get up on stage and be, no, like she doesn't play that. And then Lauryn Hill, just her fearlessness in just being real. Cause the thing is like, I feel like people like, oh, like, artists like Lauryn Hill like can't happen nowadays because all the music, but like Lauryn Hill was around during the era of there was all that nasty stuff was still out there too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just admire her for being fearless to just be real with people. So those are, and then Michael Jackson. Michael
Another
Jackson,
great
because
performer.
the thing is just like, I admire performers. That's
Yeah,
my
I see
thing. Like,
that.
more than anything, like that for me, I miss that feeling of when you would watch somebody and like, you just like, I feel like Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, and
Yes.
Beyonce, those are like three people who give you that like, it doesn't matter if you don't like them, you can't deny them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I really love, like I said, just people who like
Yeah.
just perform, that performing.
Okay, well listen, you guys. This has been Remadee, who is amazing. You guys, get her music now. Stream,
Please.
stream. Big Boss, and will you give us a little taste of Big Boss?
Sure. My walk, my move, my sauce, my style, my call, the crew, just take, come out. I want, I do, I get, then now. I done paid all of my dues, so I'm a big boss now. My walk, my move, my sauce, my style, my call, the crew, just take, come out. I want, I do, I get, then now. I done paid all of my dues, so I'm a big boss now, huh? Hey, it's a big boss talking. Ain't gotta say much walking. Ain't spend money on Louis. Look up for my friends, they Gucci. Materialism ain't me. Ain't gotta be rich just to date me. Outfit is calm, I got it from Macy's. Pockets is heavy, get 6-figure baby. I don't care to stunt, but I'ma get that Lexus. I won't even front, but I ain't making payments. I'ma pay it off. I like Nordstrom, but I can still fuck with Ross. I could give a damn about whoever hate. Tryna build my wealth by getting real estate. You not even flexing if you don't own shit. Ain't got a pot to piss in, but where the all, bitch? My walk, my move, my sauce, my style, my call, the crew, just take, come out. I want, I do, I get, then now. I done paid all of my dues, so I'm a big boss now.
Hey.
I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. I'm the biggest boss. I'm the biggest boss. And he's the biggest boss too.
Remadee, you guys. Listen, again, it has been Remadee. Listen, if you're not following her, make sure you follow her, connect. Let them know how they can stream your music and follow you.
Remadee on everything. So Remadee Love, that's REMADEE Love on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. So thank you so much.
Y'all, we are out.
Peace.
My walk, my move, my sauce, my style, my call, the crew, just take, come out. I want, I do.